Hey, what's cracking, everybody? Happy Thursday to you. Got your pervasive happiness update for you this morning. Remember, the mission is to enjoy every single moment of your life because it goes by like that. You never know when things are going to change in the most crazy, radical way, and it'll all be over. Just one big roller coaster ride. Enjoy every second of it. Hey, one of the things that will help you increase your happiness like nothing I've ever found before in my entire life is relentlessly asking questions. Relentlessly asking questions. I just got done watching a great documentary on a book that I read called Einstein, His Life in the Universe. For a while, I was obsessed with Einstein years back, maybe 15, 20 years ago. This was back when I was going to Mesa College, which is the AKA the Harvard of Kearney Mesa. But I'd read several books. I read about, I think, 4 books on Einstein. The best one was His Life in His Universe. Highly recommend you read that. But National Geographic did a series on it, and I watched it with my 10-year-old, and I was blown away by how much he loved it. But you know what it reminded me of? I could never really put my finger on what I loved so much about Einstein. He was the ultimate rebel, and all he really did, and he'll say so himself, he wasn't anything special. He just stuck with problems more and asked more questions. The relentless idea of asking questions will increase your happiness. Never lose the wonder that you have for life. I mean, Einstein, he was the ultimate rebel. Put your head around this. He didn't even follow the rules of science. That's like whole nother level of rebellion right there. He followed no rules whatsoever. I mean, if you look into his life, it's very interesting. He had some very controversial views on a lot of different stuff, but what he did that I respect the most, he just kept asking questions. As I'm going through this process and as I'm questioning stuff, I'm realizing more and more people get pissed when you question them. If you question climate change or government decisions or religion, people get pissed. And you know what? Bring it. I love it. That means that means you're breaking people's shells and question what they believe and what their thoughts are. Because here's something you got to realize. That I realize. We're not even honest with ourselves. We don't even have the truth in ourselves. We try to be, but we fool ourselves with all the agreements and all the stuff that we believe. We don't even know the truth ourselves. So the questioning starts with your own beliefs and your own thoughts. You should question everything you should say. You should say, is that really true? You know, I will be the first to admit that half the stuff that I say, like, I don't really always think it through. Sometimes the stuff that I throw out there, I'm as surprised as you when I throw it out there. It's just what's on my mind at that minute. And I question, and everything I throw out, nothing I throw out obviously is the word of God. I throw it out there and I say, is that really true? I believe that, but is that really true? And a lot of times like, no, I don't think I do, but that's what I felt in that moment. And I'm just more and more and more, I'm realizing there's core things that will increase your life happiness. And again, man, this life is just a roller coaster. The goal is just get on, enjoy the ride. It's going to be over before you know it. And one of those things is just keep that sense of awesome and awe. Question every single thing that comes about in your life. It's fun if you do it with the right. I'm not saying question it in a bad way, like make anyone else wrong. You don't have to make anyone else wrong to question it. But surprisingly, when you question something, they feel like you're making it wrong and they come back at you and attack, which again, that's where I'm just going to keep on questioning it. Why do you think the way you think? Why is everything the way it is? And what it'll do is it's actually gotten to the point where it just consumes me. All I do all day is sit around and question, who am I? What is time? That's a big one that Einstein kept asking, and he finally came to a point where he said it's a nagging illusion. It doesn't even exist. Try and get your head around that, because he's probably right. His theory of relativity, if you don't know what that is, he boiled it down best to its simplest term. He said, here's the simplest way to understand the theory of relativity of time. If you're standing on hot coals for 10 seconds, it feels like a really long time. But if you're spending a whole night with a beautiful woman, it seems like it goes by like that. That's the theory of relativity that he summed up in the simplest form. And when he really goes into anyway, read the book, because when he explains why time doesn't exist, it's fascinating, and it just leads to more and more and more and more questions about how can I feel the joy that is right now even more and enjoy this roller coaster as best I can for this next, I got about, 60, 70 years left to go, and I'm going to enjoy every moment of it, and I hope so do you. Never lose your curiosity. Don't buy what anyone else tells you. Question it relentlessly, and your happiness will increase. Have a great day.